Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a butterfly. Now this is a fairly simple tutorial, so I'm going to be drawing and talking at the same time, so if I sound a bit different, that's the reason, and I'm also using a different microphone. That being said, let's get started. Start by drawing a vertical line as a guide for the body. And this line doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but if you're having a hard time drawing it, then you can use a ruler to create a straighter edge. And sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. And pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. And at the top, draw a long horizontal line as a guide for the top edges of the wings. And notice how long this horizontal line is. If you were to flip the vertical line on its side, each side of the horizontal line is longer than the vertical line. So this is a very long line. It's sort of similar to a distorted letter T. And at the bottom, draw a small triangular shape for the bottom edges of the wings. This shape sort of looks similar to an upside down letter V. And now connect the tops and bottoms of the wings using diagonal lines to finish the shapes of the wings. And the two sides don't have to be perfectly symmetrical, but try to make them as similar as you can to each other. And the bottom part of the wings, this giant line, should be similar to a distorted letter W. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. At the top of the guides, draw a curved line for the head. And don't make this line too big, and it sits right on top of the horizontal construction guide. And you don't have to add much detail to the head because it's going to be very small and it's going to be colored in later, so don't worry about adding too much detail. And above that, draw another curved line for the top part of the head. And this curved line is a bit more narrow than the bottom. And then on the sides, draw a couple of tiny curved lines for the eyes, for the compound eyes. And at the very top, draw a diagonal line for the first antenna. And do the same thing on the right side. And below that, draw an oval-like shape for the middle section of the body called the thorax. So sketch lightly at first, and notice how thin it is, and draw it along the path of the guideline. And then when you get the shape of the thorax right, darken the lines, and use a couple of angled lines for that furry texture that the thorax has. And now let's move on to the wings. So butterflies actually have 4 wings, so let's start by drawing the first wing on the top left side. And follow the path of the initial guideline as you draw this wing, but make the shape slightly more curved. So I'm basically drawing along the path of the initial guideline and just curving the line slightly more. And then draw a diagonal line starting from the thorax downward for the bottom edge of that wing. And now draw the outer edge of the wing by following the guideline one more time, but using lines that are more curved. And now do the same thing on the right side, follow the path of the guide. And now do the same thing for the wing at the bottom, so follow the path of the guide, but make the shape of the wing slightly more curved. And at the bottom, draw the inner edge of this wing toward the thorax. And this sort of creates the bottom part of the body as well, so this will be the inner edge of the body, called the abdomen. And let's draw the other wing the same way. And close off the shape of the abdomen at the bottom. And draw a couple of short lines along the abdomen just for creases on the shape. And this is basically the shape of a lot of butterflies, so you can decorate your butterfly differently if you'd like, but we're going to be decorating this one like a monarch. And if you've made it this far, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Let's draw the pattern on the wings, starting with the wing on the top left side. So follow the path of the wing and draw a couple of curved shapes inside. And on the left side, draw a diagonal line to cut off the shape, and at the bottom draw a wavy line for the bottom part of the pattern. And then close off the shape by following the shape of the wing. And inside, draw a couple of angled lines for the veins on the wing. So that's one angled line, and then divide the shape at the bottom by drawing two more lines that slope in the opposite direction. And let's do the same thing to the wing on the right. So draw a line that follows the path of the guide, and then draw a diagonal line. And at the bottom, follow the path of the guide one more time, and then draw a wavy line to close off the shape. And at the top, draw an angled line for the first part of the veins on the wing, and then divide the shape by drawing two more diagonal lines. And let's add a couple of spots. So let's draw a couple of oval-like shapes on the side, and an oval shape on this side as well, two oval shapes on this side, and then smaller circles for more spots. We have 3 there, 1, 2, 3 here. And let's draw a couple more because there's still a bit more space, so let's just draw a couple more small circles. And now let's add the pattern at the bottom by first drawing a curved line that follows the bottom edge of the wing. So there's one curved line, and let's draw another curved line on the other side, and then draw a sort of diamond-like shape at the top. So first draw a sloping line and another sloping line, and then close off the shape. And let's do the same thing to the wing on the right, sloping line, and then close off the shape. And then let's add a couple of lines inside for the veins. So let's draw a sloping line, another short line, another line, so a total of 4 lines. And let's do the same thing on this side. Let's start the opposite direction. 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, and 4. And that's pretty much it for the drawing portion of the butterfly. The next few steps will be sped up so that the video isn't too long, so I am going to be voicing over them. Erase the guidelines for a cleaner drawing. And you don't have to erase all of the guidelines, it's okay if you leave some behind. And to get rid of more of the guidelines, you can use a thin click eraser like I'm using, and it works great to get between the final lines and erase most of the guides. Use a kneaded eraser to pick up some of the graphite. Make the lines darker and redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Go over the final lines using permanent ink. And when the ink dries, erase all the pencil marks. Now color your drawing. I'm using markers to color, but you can use colored pencils too. Color the intersections of the wings using different shades of yellow and orange. Color using light shades at first and gradually build up to darker shades. Use light yellow for the intersections of the pattern on the wings and red-orange for the outer edges. Color the small spots too. Now use black for the rest of the butterfly. Add a bit of gray to the middle section of the body to give it more dimension and volume. Now add a series of white spots across the outer edges of the wings. I'm using a white Posca acrylic marker and a white pen, but you can use a bit of whiteout to create the spots too. Add spots on the body and add a few lines too to give the body some texture. And you can stop here if you'd like for a finished butterfly drawing, or you can add a bit of a background in the next steps. Draw a big circular shape around the butterfly to create a clump of flowers for the butterfly to stand on. Add a couple of long shapes too for leaves and the stem. And you don't have to add every individual flower, just draw a few short strokes to indicate the texture on the clump of flowers. Use dark red to create shadows and light pink to create highlights. Color the stem and the leaves using different shades of green. Use dark green for shadows and light green for highlights. Add some masking tape to the edges of your paper to create a white border after you finish adding the background. Now add the background using different shades of green. Draw a few random long thin shapes across the background using dark green to create some leaves. You can add more clumps of flowers in the background using pink. Color the rest of the background using green. Coloring can be time consuming, so be patient and take breaks. And that's it for the butterfly. Remember to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. Don't forget to leave a comment below, to like the video, and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.